Hi everyone, welcome back to another StarCraft 2 weekend commentary. We are of course going to be continuing our finals of whatever the hell it was called. I can't even remember the damn name. It was so freaking long and such a weird name the damn thing was called. The Katowice finals, that's what it was, god damn it. So we are going to be continuing, of course. This is game 2 on Cloud Kingdom. Bottom left we do have MVPDream as the blue Terran player. On the top right we do have vsLGIMFirst, of course, as the red Protoss player. Last game was very nice. MVPDream did pay for his third basic span, of course, forcing IEM to go all in and push very aggressively, managing to actually counter the bio build that MVPDream did build up, and of course with those stalkers and not enough marauders from MVPDream causing him to actually drop out very quickly. So a very nice intriguing build by both players. Nothing really fancy, of course, but by the way, it was a good clean match between both players so far. No real dirty, you can say, initial all-out. So it was really nice match to watch so far. Of course, both the probes coming in for the scout right on time, just about manages to get that supply in, and will be retreating with that, of course, SCV to prevent the actual scout from happening, and of course realizing that that's not going to happen, he's trying to find the SCV. Unfortunately doesn't manage to scout it out, so he will be able to sneak the SCV back into the base, gets that Marine out to the ramp, and I'm not sure he's going to be, yes, he is going for that second command center directly after the barracks. He's saving up those 400 minerals, and we're going to have an early command center by MVPDream, going a little bit greedy this time, but with that one barracks it should provide him a little bit of safety. Of course he does see the actual build by IEM, and he knows that so far nothing really much is happening here. He is going into the base as well. He's not going to be going very close to the actual drones themselves because he doesn't want to get caught out. So far so good. We do of course have the warp gate research coming online, of course the first stalker as well, to be able to chase off those SCVs and stop that from happening. He's of course going to be delaying the actual second Nexus by building up the engineering bay as much as possible. He'll probably stop it right before it gets completed, and he already did manage to do that. He should have continued building it, of course. I don't know why he stopped, since this SCV is going to die anyways. The more HP it had, the better, and he would have delayed a little bit longer, and he'll probably just cancel it just before. Again, this few second delay of getting that second Nexus up is very key in delaying that player overall. So we do have two Marines, of course, moving across the map, probably going for the Zolnaga Tower and then moving. He's going to be cancelling it. He should cancel it. I think he can get off from the counts of it's going on by around 20 HP, so 3 more hits and he should cancel it. So there we go, 1 more and now it goes. So there's the cancel, and as expected he is obviously going to be cancelling that, going for that Nexus again. Now remember, this actually did delay him for a good at least 30 seconds or so, and that's a lot, especially in the starting game, beginning game. It's a lot of time lost, so he's going to have to do something, and he knows the actual Zolnaga Tower is probably scouted by him, so I'm not sure. No, he doesn't. He actually moves the stalker here. I did presume he's going to go around and push, but no, he doesn't want to do that at all. And the Marines, of course, will be able to take care of the stalker, but the stalker can kite all day long, and he knows that, so I'm not sure MVPDream will be going, especially with 2 stalkers. That is not going to be happening at all. But of course this amount of Marines should be able to take out should be able to easily take out these stalkers. But so far again we do have very nice micro by MFist, and that is the end. Of course that Marine is a goner, and that is the end of that. Finally, STEM research coming online. We do have the robotics facility hopefully coming out with the first observer immediately after that. Yeah, we do have the observer, and that's about it so far. Both players are pretty much playing standard. The Nexus still isn't completed. Look at the time. We already have 640 minutes, and still we don't have the actual second Nexus up and running, while MVP already has 2 mules on his actual second base, including 6 SCVs. So really the jump in terms of game jump is much higher for MVPDream. He does have a massive advantage here, and IEM really needs to do something spectacular or cause a little bit of damage and a little bit of havoc, maybe getting in a couple of war prisons, maybe being a little bit more aggressive. I'm not sure how he decides to deal with this so far. So we'll see exactly how this decides to play out. Of course, we do have that bunker, a couple of Marines and Marauders moving down. The Observer, of course, streaming across the map. There we have the Observer. So he will spot that. MVPDream, very good at spotting Observers. So if he does, yeah, he does spot that. He is moving back his Marines and Marauders. He is going to be, of course, moving them. No, he didn't. He didn't spot that at all. I did think he would spot that. He seems to be very good at spotting the actual Observer from moving around. So, excuse me. A 1-1 upgrades, of course, coming in. We do have double reactors, so again, a marine heavy build followed by, this is probably reactor, followed by switching and hot swap with the starport. So again, a very heavy marine build. Missile turret here just to catch up any of the observers in play. So far, the observer's been very nicely positioned here, nicely hidden and tucked away on the top right, of course. Just keeping an eye out, of course, making sure that he does spot in case that third command center does decide to come down. I am stuttering, god damn it. So, double forge on the way, so we should see hopefully the 1-1 upgrades as well coming down. Do we have another observer? Yeah, we do have 2 observers, so very, very sneaky. IEM really keeping all eyes on all movements of MVPDream, very nicely positioned. And nothing much MVPDream can do so far in terms of killing those observers, because they are really positioned in such awkward places. It's really difficult to spot unless you do have a Raven and unless you do actually notice that small little vague cloak smudge. Do we have a ninja? No, we don't have a ninja expansion. Maybe a ninja expansion might be coming. I don't think so. He is, of course, going to be moving out, taking care of this destructible debris. He knows that that is happening, moving in with the Colossus. More than enough to push all this back. No medevacs in play at all. So he should retreat as quickly as possible, as he doesn't want to lose a lot of Marines, especially with that one Colossus again. Moving in with that factory scout out, and is he going to be going in? No, we do have just that pylon hidden in the back, and that's pretty much it. The factory scout is, of course, moving in. Hopefully it'll survive. He'll, of course, spot this with the drone and, of course, counter it with a couple of stalkers. I do believe he wants to prevent that scout out from happening. So hopefully we should see a couple of warped in stalkers. Do we have stalkers? Do we have? Yes, we do have stalkers, ladies and gentlemen. So the scout out hopefully will be prevented. Here it is, here it comes. Factory's going to be dropping. I don't know why MVP didn't see this happening, especially since he did scout out. Since he did see that drone was there. So, I don't know, a little bit of miss micro, but again, he did hide it up on the higher grounds above the actual mountain. So he did actually manage to survive it. But again, a couple of pot shots on the factory could have been avoided. He did see that that drone did move from under it, so he should have expected that that was going to happen. A scan comes down, mops up a thing. Finally, a drop coming into play, knows that something's going to be happening. Warping in a couple of sentries on the main base. He really needs to go completely from the back. If he does decide to go from the side, it won't be as effective. Finally, MVPDream moving all the way from the actual back, probably making in a little bit of a double push happening. Yeah, we do have a double push happening, and nothing much. Yes, that was pretty much a psych out. Finally going for the actual supply drop. The main base here is nothing going to be happening. Probes are going to be pulled off the line. He did prove to do a little bit of damage, of course, with those Marauders in play, proving to be very effective. He should target fire these drones before heading off, but he's not. Finally moving forward. Finally, he's going to be taking out these probes. Very, very nice kill by IEM again. So far, from the beginning of the game, he did have an upper hand, but with this many drones killed, he's going to have even a bigger upper hand. This is ridiculous. I don't know why he's still continuing for. Look at the units killed. We do have 30 to 27 units killed so far. Workers 19 to 1. 19 kills by MVPDream. And this again further pushes IEM further behind. Again, the third command center coming in from MVPDream. He's going to be building up his third command center again. IEM not really doing anything to counteract this. Again, a very weak composition, even though we do have a couple of warpins. Nothing much he can do. Of course, MVPDream retreating, going to be regrouping, rebuilding his actual base. We do have, of course, finally those Vikings in play to counter that. Blink again coming as well. So hopefully a little bit more stalkers, giving him that strategic advantage to be able to blink forward, prevent any retreat happening. And that observer, hopefully, where's that observer though? That observer should be... No observer at all. So he's going to be removing his actual factory back into play again. So we do have that observer here. Of course, he does see that everything, what is happening here. Scan comes down, drops down. The actual observer, very nice by MVPDream. He is very good at spotting that cloaked animation by those units. Again, why doesn't he go for the drop? No, he's not going for a drop. He's building up just to make sure that that Protoss ball doesn't move down. Again, in terms of upgrades, we do have 1-1 upgrades for both the players, so they are pretty much on par, while MVPDream is not going for the 2, he's just going for the 2 weapons, while we do have, of course, IEM going for the 2 upgrades. So at least he might be able, in terms of upgrades, to be a little bit ahead. This might give him a little bit of advantage, being able to push back all these harasses by the Terran player, being able to get up his third nexus, which he is trying to do, not very successfully, I might add, but he is trying to keep that actual nexus happening. And once this Marine spots that an actual pylon has been dropped, he's going to be trying to prevent that third nexus from dropping down as much as possible. So far, of course, IEM is being pressured down quite a lot. He is being forced pretty much to stay on 2 bases, while MVPDream already on his third base, very nicely saturated, and his primary base pretty much offline. And we do have finally those 2 upgrades in play so far. Again, he does. I'm not sure. Did he spot that though? Did he spot that? Yes. No, he didn't. Yes, he did spot that actual pylon in play. So again, he did spot that scan, so he knows that that base is happening, and another scan is happening here just to be sure the observer is not anywhere close to MVPDream, so he does have an upper hand in terms of where those units are going to be moving out. He's going to be dropping this pylon. Again, a very, very great thing if you could drop the pylon. Again, prevents the upgrades from happening, takes down one Colossus. Very nice concave by MVPDream. Should be easily able to mop this up, and is going to be retreating. Look at the amount of Marauders, more than enough to deal with this amount of Stalkers. He needs more Ravens though. He's down to one Raven, as the Stalkers did manage to target fire all those Ravens, so not very counter-effective against two Colossus, especially this build, and he will be retreating again. Again, this is maybe the third try, I do presume, in case I missed it out. This is the third try for this Nexus. Hopefully this time it'll be successful. I don't see that this game is going to be happening anytime soon for IMG-Fist, as he's pretty much being able to counteract everything though. Again, yes, very nice blink by the Stalkers, did manage to take that out, but again, we do have Cloak coming in play, so we're gonna have Cloak Banshees again moving in, so sorry about that. So the Cloak Banshees will pretty much be able to mop this up very, very effectively, if not to provide a very nice push and a very aggressive harass. Again, remember that we do have no observers in play so far. Let's take a look. Let's take a the unit composition. No observers at all in place. So once the cloak research is happening, and once the actual one weapon ship upgrade does happen, this actual cloaked harass will pretty much mop this up, and he doesn't even get to use this. This is it. IEM Fist does call it a GG, and this is it for the second game, so it is 1-1 for both the players. This was, again, a very nice play between both players. Always happy gaming. Hope you are going to be enjoying your weekend. If not, hope you will be enjoying your weekend, and as always, happy gaming. See you guys next time. Bye.